Well, hey guys, happy day before Thanksgiving. Hope everybody's got good big plans for Thanksgiving. Eat a lot, take the day off, have a good time. Well, here's this Focus still here. You know, I've been going all out to sell this car, trying to turn it and move on to something else. This is the one I fixed up a while back. Drove it for a little while. Realized it wasn't for me, so it's on the market on Craigslist, and you've seen some of my long rambling videos about the people I've encountered doing such. So this is not going to really be about that. What I'm going to do in this video is kind of show you what I decided to do. I've tried to sell this car for what I think it's worth. I had it listed for $2,200 and had a lot of looky-loos and a lot of tire kickers, and basically at the end of the day it was a lot of, well, we're going to think about it, we'll get back to you. Yet. So what I've learned about selling cars, especially run-of-the-mill cars and trucks and stuff like this one, is that you find out pretty quick that they sell for what they sell for, and that's kind of, I know that's kind of oblique, but what that means is they you know, sometimes you have to start dropping the price until you get somebody to buy it on it, and that's what it's going to sell for, obviously. And this car, you know, I know what the book value is on it, and I'm going by KBB, good value, and it's just not going to bring that. There's, you know, it's too old, it's too run-of-the-mill, it's a station wagon, it's green, you know, it's got all these strikes against it, and it just, you know, I thought, well, it having 97,000 miles on it, and it's in good shape, that will get it moving pretty quick. No, you know, people have really, I've learned something with this car, and that is that for what people may tell you when they're looking at your car or looking at cars, a lot of it is just BS. It's just talk. It's just nothing that's relevant. And what I mean by that is they've not paid any attention to the good qualities of this car. When they've looked at this car, they've pointed out just every little thing that's, you know, that's wrong with it, and that's just the case of it. You know, this little part right here where it's got, I guess it's got some Bondo in it. It's got some crackage there. I know what that is. That's where it got hit in the back. But you know, let's look at that, and they just kind of, you know, there's nothing really wrong with this car, but they're just not. You know, I've not heard anybody say, ooh, it's got 97,000 miles on it. Ooh, the airworks. You know, they just have glossed over that. And no pun intended, but I don't know what they focus on when they're looking at this car or cars like this. But, and you know, I've marked it. I said, this has got the good Z-Tech engine in it. It's the one, not the one, the split port that drops valves. And I've had not one person really comment on that. Nobody is aware of that. People looking at this car, they wouldn't know that if I took a class on it. So, upshot of it is, what I've taken away from this is, number one, if I was going to buy a car to make any money on, I wouldn't buy one of these. I'll still come out ahead on it. I'm not going to take a bath on it, but I'm not going to make the money I thought I would on it. And number two is, I wouldn't buy one of these cars to drive every day because I simply don't like them. They make a weird noise up front in the transmission. I've heard multiple Focus do that. I don't know what it is. I don't like it. The driving position is terrible. I have to keep my arms from being stretched out straight to the steering wheel, I have to bend my legs up almost to the dashboard, and that's not going to happen. So I don't like that. Some of the controls are kind of weird, but so anyway, moral of the story is I don't like it. I just don't like the car. I don't like it. Maybe that's what people are picking up when they drive. Maybe they don't like it either. You know, forever how many hundreds of thousands of these cars they sold, you know, it's hard for me to believe that people in the end of the day don't like them, but I didn't. So anyway, that's that. I wouldn't have another one. I'm not saying they're a bad car. If you like them, that's great. They're probably a good car. It probably lasts a long time, but it's not for me. So brings us to now. I decided that if I'm going to get beat down on the price of this car, which I will, and have to list it lower than what I thought, which is going to be about $1,800, which is the thing that eats me up about that is if you go on Craigslist at any time here in Huntsville and look at cars and trucks listed for $2,000 or around that neighborhood, it's just BS cars on there. It's crap. It's crap. You couldn't buy a car like this. And I don't know if people just are not buying cars, if cars are just not selling, even if they're listed around, you know, pretty cheap like that. If all these cars you see, they just never sell, or what it is, I don't know. But I know this much, I'm not going to worry about it. I'm going to cut this thing loose for what I can get out of it and move ahead. But here's the deal. I've decided that I'm not going to give my improvements that I made to this car away to a cheapskate. So if people demand this car to be in worse shape than it is and missing things and not as nice as it was, then that's what I'll give them. So in that end, I went to the junkyard and pulled off a couple good used junkyard tires and put on the front of it, and there's the ones that I bought new for it. So I took those off. So now it's got some good used tires on it. I hope they're good. That one looks a little low. Might need some air in it. I might put some air in that. I don't know. Depending on how much that air will cost me. This one over here, it's not as nice as the one that was on it because it's got a big scrub down the outside of it right here. But that's okay. We don't worry about that. And that tire's kind of cracked and stuff, but I think it'll be fine. That's what they want. They want, you know, they wanted a cheaper price. So sometimes you have to decontent stuff. So talking about that, I took my 4 factory floor mats out that I bought from it, so I'll sell those on eBay. So now it doesn't have any floor mats in it. Boo-hoo. And I took my cup holders that I got for it, took those out too. You're not getting those. And this really makes me feel good to do this. Not one of the dim bulbs that looked at this car knows it's got keyless entry in it, just like my Infiniti, but it does, and these are remotes for it. And even though these remotes don't work very well, since they're Ford remotes, that's pretty par for the course, I guess. One will unlock it and one will lock it, but neither remote will do both. So anyway, but I'm delighted to take these and do this with them. So now you don't know that it's got keyless entry, and I'm not going to tell you, and you'll never find out, and you'll just be locking it with your key from here on. So that's your problem, not mine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the price on this thing and see what I get for it. And if anybody complains about the tires, you know, they might be out of balance or they might make noise. I don't know. I haven't ridden it yet. But if they complain about that, I'll say, well, there, I got 2 I'll sell you right there, brand new. They're even on the right rims. And I guarantee you nobody will bite for that. Not one person. I asked $200 for them, which covers what I paid for them and the wheels. And nobody will bite. Oh, well, these tires will be okay. Yeah, these are fine. I just don't have that. So, well, that's a common size tire, though, so I can use those for something else down the road. I'll keep them stored inside. So, okay, guys, that's what we're going to do. We're going to drastically mark this thing down as a Thanksgiving special and see if we can find it a new owner, because I'm tired of dealing with it. I won't ever have another one of these cars. And I've learned about something also, and I'll make another video about that. But there's a lot of cars and trucks that you really just don't need to mess with. And one correlation that I've noticed is that if you see a lot of something in a junkyard, don't buy it. You're never gonna get any money for it if you try to resell it, and it's not gonna be worth anything. So alrighty then. I guess I'm gonna end it up, and we'll see you in another video. Have a good one.